today we'll start our next chapter, that is construction and tooling. Second chapter of our CNC machines and automation. So basically, this construction and toolings deals with the entire type of toolings and constructions or whole design, that how the CNC machines are being developed, because CNC machines are somewhat basically different from conventional machines, CNC machines, as many design changes are required for the CNC machine tools from the conventional aspect. Due to this, with a number of additional requirements are there in the case of the CNC machines. Like the CNC machines, we need MCUs, we need PLCs, we need other mechatronic components that make the CNC machines more reliable and durable as compared to the conventional machines. So this automation, the help of these CNC machine is being achieved with the introduction of various automatic automation controls, which helps to have the better machining and accuracy and achieving the higher performance as compared to the conventional machines. And in the CNC machines also, we have employed the various mechatronic components that helps in achieving the more closed loop structure as compared to the conventional machines. And also the quality and reliability of the CNC machines depends upon these mechatronic components. What are mechatronic components? That are being the components which are being clubbed and having the features of electrical as well as mechanical properties. So like we have CLU, or we have MCUs, or we have PLCs. They are mechanically designed, but they are electrically and electronically they are uh, programmed. So next we have the construction requirement of any CNC machines. So present day, the demand of customer is changing day by day. We have the expectations of customers are changing day by day. As I have already taken the example in the previous lectures also, we are getting new mobile phones at every month. We are getting new mobile phones because uh, why we are getting new model of any mobile phone, because this automation, that is industry 4.0, has achieved this construction requirements of the automations that may require uh, the high class expectations or high quality expectations which are being required to the customers. So industry is meeting these market uncertainties. So present day tools are variable in the design. So the selection of machine tool that is being installed on the CNC machines depends on the overall efficiency and the economy of the CNC machine tool. So for any CNC machines, for the construction requirement of the CNC machines. So there is most some common features such as operational cutting tool, cutting speed, cutting feed, gearboxes, construction elements like slideways, beds, spindles, which are quite similar in these machines. But in the case of the conventional machines, but in the case of the CNC machines, these machines are operated automatically. Hence, a careful design of the machine is not required. So then it is possible to have a very large damage is done because of lesser supervision of the operator. So unexpected deformation in these machines gently occurs due to the excessive pressure of tool on the workpiece, uses of high speed, noise and vibration during the operations, friction of slideways. So all these factors may lead to the below quality production of parts, operators fatigue, lesser production due to the higher maintenance cost. So for every good construction of a CNC machine, and to construct a CNC machines that performs efficiently in the extreme environments, like if there is any change in environment conditions, or if there is any change in the customer expectations, so CNC machine can meet that requirements. So first one is the productivity. So it can be, productivity is uh, may be defined as the metal that may be removed per unit time, or the parts may be produced per unit time. How many parts we are producing in the required time or the specific time, or how much is the metal is being removed, or how much are the operations that are being carried out on a particular specimen or number of specimens. So the high productivity can be obtained by reducing the idle time for the machine, idle time, it's basically the free time of the machines. So productivity can be increased by reducing the idle time. It can be achieved by reducing the so the productivity can be achieved by reducing the non-productive time. Like non-productive time means that is you are wasting the time in the case of the unproductive work, like the workers are moving here and there and they are not focusing on the machines. And next one is the machining with more than one tool simultaneously. So there may be a skill required while you are performing the number of operations on it using the single machines, or simultaneously you are performing the different types of operations, but it may lead to the lesser productivity if you are performing more than one operation or using more than one tool simultaneously. Next is the improved reliability of machine components. So if you are having a reliable machine components, then we can increase the productivity. Next, we are coming to the accuracy. So accuracy is the main factor that is why the industry is switching to the CNC machines rather than the conventional machines. So accuracy is what? That is ability to produce the parts of the required shape within the dimensions. That is how much or how is the design or the aesthetic look that the customer wants is the accuracy. Like a customer wants a mobile phone with a specifications of 4 GB RAM and 64 GB ROM, that is the hard disk. And similarly, the customer wants a camera of 32 megapixel and the front camera of 8 megapixels. So these are the some specifications like in the case of mobile phone a customer can want. So to meet these specifications, to meet these dimensions, or producing that exactly the same dimensions as required or as desired by the customer is called the accuracy. So the better accuracy in the CNC machines may be possible only by improving the geometrical accuracy or by improving the kinematic accuracy of the machine tool. That is maintaining the actual speed and feed rate of the machine tool to perform all the desired operations on the specimen. We can also increase the accuracy by reducing the thermal deformation. That is, there must be a proper supply of lubrication during the operation in between the tool and the specimen. That is where the operation is to be carried out, and also by increasing the static and dynamic stiffness of the machine tool, so that machine tool should not break down during any operation. And also we can increase the accuracy of the machine tool by providing the accurate machine tool for measuring the distance in between the transverse and the longitudinal axis. Next is the simplicity of the design. The, basically, the design of machine tool should not be complicated. The design can be simplified by using the standard parts and some assemblies as much as possible. Next is the operator's ease. That is the worker or the skilled worker or the non-skilled worker who is using the CNC machines. The machine must be a user friendly. Like you are using your mobile phone, they all are the user friendly. You are using or you are attaching a pen drive to your desktop. That is, these are user friendly and they are basically pocket design. You can easily detect where this USB drive or the flash drive is to be assembled with your laptop or your desktop computer. So it's a basically user friendly. So similar will be the case with the construction requirement of the CNC, that this machine should be that okay. So that CNC machine must be user friendly and it can be handled by any new worker as well as the new trained worker, so that the productivity may be or the accuracy may be achieved and the scrap may be reduced with the operator's ease. Next is the reliability. That is, and every time when we perform any operation on the CNC machine, then that operation will be a maintenance free, then that operation will be having lesser breakdowns, and also if there is any breakdown, then it can easily replaceable parts that may fail during the operations which may be carried out during the any operation. Next is the safety and easy control. Any CNC machine should be guided against all the possible accidents. Thus, the machine must be designed with the following measures to meet the requirements of the safety and the convenient operations. So, it must have a shielding, that is, when I have shown to the CNC machine that it is all the operations are being carried out in the closed loop or in the closed covering in the CNC machines. All the operations are, you can see, are in the image. I'm showing you the first chapter slide. You can see this is the CNC machine. All the operations are carried out in the closed loop. That is, no chip or no lubrication or no heating is being, or no harm is being on the workers. So a system in which the actions are being controlled by the direct instruction of numerical data at some point. Also, the system must be automatically interpret at least some portion of that data. So also it can provide the travel limit switch, and also it can provide the feedback to the worker also if there is any during the feedback during the operation, if there is any error may occur during the operation. So it can provide the feedback to the worker so that he or she can stop the machine. Next is the specification chart of the CNC machine. You can see there is a tool chart, there is a material chart, operation, machine, all the tool parameters like speed rate, and all the cutting operations or the cutting parameters are being shown in this slide. Next are the recommendations. You can have when the machine is in the working condition, it is showing all the readings related to the feed rate, speed rate, and how much is the thickness is being removed and how much is the material removal rate, that is MMR, abbreviated as MRR. So all the details related to the tools, like which type of tools you are using to perform that particular operation, what kind of material the specimen is there. Like we are having aluminum alloy, we are having cast alloy, we are having. You can see this is a 242. This is the copper series cast aluminum alloy. Next is the classification. Next, there is a detail regarding the operation. That is, which kind of operation you are performing on the machine. First one is a general milling. Second is a high efficiency milling. So this is kind of the, you can see this is a tool path. How the tool is to be moved on the specimen to perform that particular operation. Mm. Do you see the cursor of the mouse? So this is the. Is it visible to you, Gold?
Yes, sir.
So this is the this operation is showing the path of the tool on the specimen. So that path may be point to point, or that can be contouring, or that can be continuous path. So all the specifications we will study in the coming slides also. Next is the machine. So which type of machine is being used to perform these operations? So you can see this is the desired value, that is an optimum value of the machine or the security. Next is the which type of machine you are using, which type of tool you are using. So maximum RPM and minimum RPM. You have to fill that value here. That is how much the speed is being required on that machine. So at how much speed it can operate and at which speed you are performing that particular operation. This is the detail regarding the tool. So we have already, this was the detail of the tool. That is the what kind of length of cut is required, what is the depth of cut, what is the shape of the tool. So this is the basically geometry of the tool. You can see if there is a milling tool, because we are going to perform a general milling operation. So this is the milling tool. You can see this is the path, this is the top view, and this is the front view of the tool. So you can see this is the radial depth, aerial depth, and the enlargement angle. All the parameters are being given. So these all the values related to the tool, related to material, related to operation, machine, and parameters. And also whenever like tool, material, operation, machine, and parameter, these all are being retrieved by the CNC machines NC from the NC part program. That is, all the set of instructions which are being entered in the form of part programs are being providing this information to the CNC machines in the form of tool. That is, which kind of tool is being required. Like I have shown in the first chapter, I'm again coming back to the first chapter, so you can see. So this was the block diagram like this. This is N010. G70 is the miscellaneous code that is programming in inches here. G90 is showing the actual coordinate system. G94 is showing the feed rate. Like 97 code is of the spindle speed rate, and M04 is the path of the spindle and spindle type. So similarly, in the case of the this specification chart, these all the specifications are being retrieved by CNC machines from the NC part program. That is in the form of set of instructions that you have entered during the part program is the specification chart of the CNC machines. So all the tools related detail. So you can see here the tool related detail, this tool related detail, and which tool is you are using, which are the coordinate systems, which are the what is the speed rate, what is the speed rate. These all the specifications which are entered in the word address format of the NC part program are being shown here in the specification chart of the CNC machine. So the last image that you can see is the recommendation. So whenever a programmer has entered all the specifications with a set of instructions and machine has retrieved this, all the specifications from the NC part program and enter that in the all the requisite blocks. So that recommendation will show that whether these all the kind of, so this is basically recommendation is basically a feedback system. The machine is providing the information to the viewer or to the user that whether all the specifications you have entered in the terms of tools, material, operation, machine, and parameters, whether these all are synced, that is, whether these are correct or not. So these all the features are not available in the conventional CNC conventional machines, but whereas in the case of CNC machine, you can see this recommendation is basically the feedback system, which is providing the feedback to the user that or whether you have entered all the information correct or not, and also it is providing the information that whether the operation is will be performed accurately or not. If this is showing recommendation is not matching with these specifications, that means after the production you will not get a accurate product. So accuracy and productivity may be reduced if the user will not concentrate on the recommendations that may be provided by the CNC machines. So these recommendations basically are the are in the terms of the feedback system. So are in the terms of feedback system. So the user must focus on these recommendations, that whether these recommendations are synced with the specifications which are being retrieved from the NC part program. And if there is any mismatch, he has to reset all the specifications and then re-enter so that there should not be any generation of scrap and accurate product should be manufactured after the production. So next slide is we're having machine structure and slideways. So machines, focusing on the machine structure. So the design and construction of any CNC machine must be such that it meets the following main objectives. So what are the main objectives? That for any machine structure of a CNC machine, it must be highly precise and repeatability. Repeatability means whenever you are performing, like you are performing 50 times a particular operation, you are getting the same results. This is called the repeatability. Like you want a specimen of 10 by 15 of a rectangle of a 10 by 15 specifications, that when we perform the operation with the same kind of conditions, that is same feed rate and speed, all the cutting specifications are same, we are getting the same and accurate dimensions every time. This is called the repeatability. Next is the reliability, and last one is the efficiency. Reliability means how the operation is being reliable, and whether you are performing that operation, you are getting the accurate result every time. That is the reliability, that it will perform accurately in the extreme conditions also. That is called the reliability. Efficiency is that you always know the output upon input give us the efficiency. So to meet the requirements of high precision, repeatability, and high efficiency, the numerically controlled machine tools should have a structure that should correctly be designed to withstand normal weight distribution. So the cutting speed and feed rates in the CNC machine should be results in the rapid acceleration and deceleration of the slides, and the machine must be subjected to fluctuating and variable forces during the machining. So machine structure should not. So I am saying that machine structure should not bend to the heavy heavy work forces that may occur during the operation on the specimen. So it may be have a we may have a heavy specimen, or we may have a lighter tool while performing any operation. So it should not be breakdown during any operation. So it is providing every time, it will provide the high precision and the reliability, and also it will another source of inaccuracy in the CNC machine may be the thermal distortion of the machine structure, because you can see the heavy dissipation is being heavy heat is dissipated during the operation. So we need lubrication during the operation in between the tool and the workpiece, so that there may not be any deformation in the tool as well as in the specimen. So the tool should be protected from the external heat sources as well as the internal heat. So for example, you can say the headstock motor should be placed centrally so that the thermal effects are equally distributed. So all the heat that may be generated during the operation may be disseminated in the atmosphere by using uh, the cooled environment, or having the direct uh, or having providing the proper lubrication to the operation. So the tool should be provided with an efficient and perfect lubrication as well as a cooling system. And also the machine structure design should be such that the removal of swath is easy and the chips etc. do not fall on the sideways. Like whenever you are performing any operation, you can see there is a removal of any material from the specimen, so the chips may be fall on the uh, any other place where it should not fall. So these should be removed during the operation. So these must be required in the machine structure. So next is the slide and sideways. The conventional machine tools were provided with the tables, slides, carriages, etc. to carry out the workpiece or the tool. So these parts were sliding in nature and mounted on the ways that are fixed on other parts of the tools known as slideways. Like you have a forja chuck in the CNC machine, where you have a tool post. So to uh, place that tool or the forja chuck or the specimen at the accurate position, you need slide and sideways. Whenever you move the in the transverse axis or the longitudinal axis, you are having a tool post, or you are having a longitudinal axis and transverse axis. You can move that tool and specimen at the desired position. So that movement is being achieved by the slide and sideways. So the slide and sideways should have the following features. It should have good surface finish on the sideways. It should have high accuracy of the travel, high rigidity and rugged construction. It should have low coefficient of friction. Low coefficient of friction means it should be slide easily from one point to another point, so that the position of tool and the workpiece can be adjusted accurately. Lesser amount of frictional forces acting on the slideways, so that it can reduce the wear and tear. And also the main factor is the higher accuracy must be required in the case of the slide and sideways, so that the user can easily uh, position his tool as well as his workpiece. And also it should have a good damping properties. That is, damping properties means it should absorb all the vibrations that may be uh, produced during the operation. And also it should have minimum difference between static and dynamic friction coefficient, and also positive slope for friction velocity characteristics. So next we are having types of slideways. We'll study different types of slideways in this chapter. The first one is the hydrostatic type slideways. Second is the air bearing slideways. Third is the ball bearing, and last one we will study the wear resistant slideways. So these pictorial views of first two slideways are being shown in this slide. You can see hydrostatic type slideways and the air bearing slideways. So first we will you can see the diagram of the hydrostatic slideways. First of all, we'll have a readers construction. So you can see this is the path of this is the workpiece. This is the tool slide where you can, this is the tool post is being assembled on this slideways. you can see. So this is the arrangement. This is a piston, valve, spool. This is the oil inlet. This is the oil exhaust, and this is the retracting spring is being attached here. This is the oil exhaust also. So this is the stylus, and the template is being installed so that this position of the tool is being achieved. So this is the hydrostatic. Why it is called hydrostatic slideways? Because this all the movement of this tool post is being controlled by the this hydraulic oil which is being filled in this uh, hydro, hydraulic cylinder. So in this arrangement, you can see this a retracting spring which is being maintaining the accurate pressure in between the piston and the valve, so that slideways can we can achieve the accurate position of the tool with the help of this slideway. So the slideways of many machines, mostly of those with a horizontal bed like lathes, exits under difficult conditions for cutting forces failing on the sliding surfaces. So this hydraulic oil or air can be pumped into small cavities or pockets in the faces of the carriage. Is it clear? Is it clear? Is it clear?
Can you, sir, explain it again?
Yeah, I'm explaining here. I'm not yet over now. So this is the hydraulic oil is being filled here. So with the pressure of that hydraulic oil, the slide way can be positioned at near to the workpiece, and whenever the operation is completed, this tool post can be adjusted back way. So with the help of this spring way and the hydraulic system, this pressure is being built up, so that with the help of that pressure, the position of the tool post is being adjusted near to the workpiece and far to the workpiece. So these hydrostatics are basically classified into two types. First one are the oil lubricated, and second one are the air bearing. So air bearing in the case of the air bearing, you are using the pneumatic pressure, and in the case of the oil bearing, you are using the hydraulic pressure, that is oil pressure. So basically these are this air bearing sideways is a type of the hydrostatic type sideway. So why it is called air bearing? Because we are using the pneumatic pressure, whereas in this case we are using the oil pressure. So therefore the pressure is automatically varied according to the load on the surface and resulting from the weight of that moving number and cutting conditions. So these slideways are basically best suitable for the CNC machine tools. Next are the air bearing slideways. You can see in the figure also. The cross-sectional view of air bearing is being shown in this slide. So you can see this is the table, this is the tool post with fast tool serving. This is the diamond tool. This is the control panel of the CNC machine. This is the spindle with the separate motor here. We are having the granite bed and the vibration isolators. That is, no vibrations are being, all the vibrations may be damped out, and they should not be reached to the ground. If these vibrations will reach to the ground, it may reach to the worker also. So this is the hydrostatic slideways, and these are having the port structure, that is the main bed on which all the components of the machines are being installed. So when in this air bearing sideways, a compressed air is being used instead of the hydraulic oil which is being used in the hydrostatic slideway. So here we are using the compressed air. So during the actual displacement of the slide, the table and the saddle are raised on the cushion of compressed air which entirely separates the slide and slideway surface. So with the help of this compressed air, uh, entirely separates the slide and slideway surfaces. So with the help of this compressed air, these air bearings are more suitable for positioning the workpiece for the operations like drilling, due to the reason that machining does not take place during the movement of slide. So in these types of bearing slideways, there may be misalignment due to the lifting of slides, and on the other hand, due to an unevenly situated load on the table. Next are the ball bearing type of slideways. So you can see in the figure, that first figure is the ball bearing slideways, and second is the wear resistance slideways. So this is basically a cross sectional view or the Cutting view is being shown of the bearing slideways, bearing balls, ball bearing slideways. So in this case, you can see the bed forms of the sideways of the balls, which are carried in the chain cages here. So hardened inserts are being, so hardened inserts, these are the hardened inserts you can see in the slide. Hardened inserts are fitted into the table, which is located on the ball track, okay, with a single flat surface in contact with the ball. And also this relocating linear ball bearing uses the ball to roll. So with the help of these ball bearing, you can roll the slide way from to adjust the position of the workpiece as well as the tool. So a return groove is also provided. This is the return groove is also provided in the moving member to allow the balls to circulate with the help of the deflector plates. And also these balls are rolling between the four rods, out of which two are fixed on the table and two are stationary. Here two are fixed and two are stationary balls. So these hardened inserts are basically uh, adjusting the balls and maintaining the slide way of the bearing. So next is the wear resistance slideways. So machine tools generally vary in the ability to resist wear and tear of their slideways. So such as lathe and planing machines operate under heavy loads, whereas grinding machines have relatively less wear and tear on their slideways. So therefore, to reduce the cost of the cast iron is being used for the body of both types of machines. And it's a different type of bearing surface is being applied. Okay. So this is a kind of wear resistance slideway. You can have a gib strip. So gib strip, you have read that gib and knuckle and gib joints in the case of the mechanical engineering drawing. So these gibs are basically being used so that these wherever these wear resistance sideways are used, I have said also that wherever the high load is being installed, heavy load is being required in the case of the like the grinding machines have the relatively lesser load, whereas the operations like lathe machines or the planing operations require heavy load. So in that, machines who use these wear resistance slideways as compared to the other slideways, because in the other kind of slideways there may be more wear and tear. So to reduce the wear and tear, we have provided the rollers as well as we have provided the gibs in between the slideways, so that lesser wear and tear will be achieved for the heavy load machines. So we'll do this recirculating ball screwing and nut assembly in the next class. Is it clear to everyone today's lecture?
Yes.
If you are having any doubt, you can ask me.